Everybody, it's another edition of David's World today. And as you saw from the title of the video, it's kind of a controversial topic about abortion and aborting babies and all that. My personal views are my own, just to get that out there. But from my personal standpoint, some argue that it is right and some argue that it's wrong. I believe that it is wrong. Let me explain why. When some people say fetus, I say baby. The baby is conceived. From that moment on, whether it can feel anything or even so much as comprehend its own existence or even breathe, even it's just two cells joined together, taking that away is the same as most movies you would see about time travel. Let me explain a little bit deeper than that. If you went back in time and killed yourself 5 years before you knew how to time travel, essentially you would either create a paradox or you would cease to exist past a certain point in time. Or you would keep going into a continuous loop where two things branched off. But I digress. If somebody kills somebody else before they even a chance to get born, technically throughout the timeline stance, that's murder. And just because somebody made a mistake doesn't mean that the child should have to pay for it. Now yes, some people say it's women's parts. I can understand rape cases. Those were out of their control, but anything else, you opened your legs for them. Sorry to be blunt, but it just is what it is, and you chickening out, or him getting his tail between his legs and running away, it's not going to solve anything, and I get it. Issues and relationships are different. A relationship is hard as all get out to keep going and strong, all at the same time. Then a child comes into the picture. That really sets things apart from just feeling somebody out in a relationship to I'm going to spend the rest of my life or I'm going to jet in this relationship. So I do understand that. But every time you go to make love to your significant other, use protection to at least try to prevent it. And take into consideration what most people say about abortion, that women have every right to their sexual organs, is right. People have right to what's theirs. It was given to my birth. But your sexual organs and a child are two different things. The organs help deliver it up into the stomach. I can't remember exactly where it's called, maybe the uterus. And it grows from there. Your sexual organs are what help it along the process. It's kind of like a house. It helps you stay warm, nurtured, out of danger, lets you grow as an individual, sleep, all that. It's the same thing, it's just for a person that's forming physically, not just mentally or socially or anything else. It's way different, but at the same time, it's not too different. It's pretty similar. But that argument has some merit, but at the same time, it doesn't. Before you even think about having a child or anything, take it into deep, thoughtful thoughtful consideration, because that is a baby we're talking about. It could be the next Einstein, or what's his name? The guy that played the piano, Beethoven. It could be somebody that finds a cure for AIDS or cancer or anything like that. Not just an important figure, or just somebody, anybody on this earth that's come next. They deserve a chance to fight and live. Just like you or me. I'm glad I wasn't aborted so I can sit here and make this video today. Just because times get hard doesn't mean they're impossible. You just have to find the power within yourself. Fight just a little bit harder to make things work and make ends meet. Especially when you're 9 months along and you're just about to have the baby. Looking back on all those hard times and knowing you're still alive and well, and so is your child. No matter how you got the child, that should be something of a feeling of accomplishment, not regret or grief. Because you did that. You got that far, and you just did it. You accomplished it, and you should be proud of it. Some people never get the chance to have children. They have to adopt. And on that topic of adoption, if you decide to have the child and give it a chance at life, and you can't care for it, then give it up for adoption. It's way better than killing it and not giving it a chance at all. But with that also being said, most people do not get the chance at all to have a child or to give a child their love, because some of them are fertile, or some of them have had accidents, or just born to where they can't have one. I know, I understand that. And people should take that into deep consideration before an abortion. I don't know, I think I heard it somewhere that most women regret having an abortion after they have it. I mean, if you were raped, my feelings go out to you. I honestly have sympathy for you. And the baby that you're carrying, if you ended up being impregnated, didn't choose which way it was going to be into this world. Yes, you feel horrible about yourself. You feel just dirty to be in your own skin. I understand that. I really do. And the child that you're carrying, it's more than just abortion. It's about people having a chance or a choice or chance at life. If you give that child a chance to live, whether they're given up for adoption or taken care of by the original parent, great things could happen to the world. I mean, I'm glad I'm here, maybe for a short time, and this all might be pointless. Everything is vanity, but life is the only real, tangible grasp of anything that people have. Before we had all this stuff, before we had YouTube, before we had Facebook, before we even had the internet, or a churn to put butter in, or how the Pilgrims live. Before we had anything similar to that, we were just people. And this nation is starting to forget that people are people. And it's harder to be understood as a person if you never get the chance to open your eyes in the first place. There's a lot of people who wish they could have a child, and there's a lot of people who have children and adore them. So if you clicked on this video and you're in a situation where you're deciding whether or not, I implore you to at least think about it first. At least take the time to weigh the pros and the cons of it. Instead of focusing on the hurt and the pain of what happened to you if you were raped, focus on after having a child, if you do, hopefully you do, but after having it, imagine all of just heartfelt giggles and laughs by the little baby. And look in its eyes, think it's the cutest thing on earth. Imagine the happiness and joy you can have from a little newborn life just right there in your arms, completely depending on you. Just focus on life in general. Be one of those people that understand it. And if you don't, then just think about it. Just think about life in general. And while you're wrapping your head around it, just, I don't know, kind of lost my train of thought. When you're wrapping your head around life in general, just consider everything that I've said so far. They have you deciding, because they're completely helpless in this situation. They don't have a voice in this situation. They have you to decide whether or not they're going to live or they're going to die. When they're born or when they're not born. The only person that can really make that choice is you. I hope that you make the choice to let it live, him or her. And if you can't care for it, then give it to somebody that would just adore to be able to adopt someone and take care of them and love them. I know there's a lot of people out there struggling right now, and I understand that. Just do what you feel is right in your heart at the end of the day. That's all I can really tell you. It's complicated in general as a topic, but when you really think about it, it's as simple as a yes or no, or alive or dead. I think that most people don't really grasp the concept of life in general. They just take everything for granted. So just cherish what you have and what you could have. Think about that. I'm gonna end this video, and I'm gonna thank you all for tuning in today, and don't forget to like and subscribe the video and all that good stuff. And I'm thinking about coming up with another video, a gameplay video. I finally figured out how to work switching one file over to another from one console to the phone. So I might do a voiceover on it. I don't know. But thank you for watching, and y'all have a good day.